Yuda. Welcome to the capitals of Antigua, St. John City.
caña dulce pa' moler, cuando tenga mi casita. Oh, qué suerte tan bonita, oh, qué suerte tan bonita, que pa' mí tendrá que ser. Cuando apunte el veroní y yo viva con mi nena, no tendré ninguna pena, no tendré ninguna pena, y seré siempre feliz. Tendré entonces mi casita y una milpa y buenos bueyes, y seré como esos reyes que no envidian ya nadita. Con mi Dios y mi morena, caña dulce y buen amor, esta vida noble y buena, esta vida noble y buena, pasaré sin un rencor. Tendré entonces mi casita y una milpa y buenos bueyes, y seré como esos reyes que no envidian ya nadita. Tendré entonces mi casita y una milpa y buenos bueyes, y seré como esos reyes que no envidian ya nadita, que no envidian ya nadita.
British now had to fortify this island. But Antigua and Barbuda were two islands they had to fortify more than any other islands within the Caribbean. Because at that time they were losing some of the islands in the Caribbean. But Antigua and Barbuda, especially Antigua, they could not afford to let go because it was an integral part of their sugarcane trade at the time. Now, the cannon here. It's a beautiful cannon. Still here, late 1700s, 1800s. Okay, and you can see the emblem right here. GR. It means George and Rex, and the king's crown at the top. At the front, it lost its mount. But I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it lost its mount because it jammed when they were firing it. There's no other way this cannon can lose its mount. You can't chip it off, can't cut it. Because if you look at the density of the cannon. So, only when it was firing and jam, a great explosion came. Right here. This water catchment. Antigua is a very dry island. So these men had to build a sizable water catchment to store their water. This is 30 feet deep. I can tell you, it still has water in it because it's almost full. We've been getting a lot of rain for the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And I just looked the other day and it's almost full. The guardhouse, look out, year 1791. Okay? And it reads here, the occupants of the Royal Artillery Guardhouse were responsible for the 4 guns on the gun platform and the signal posts above the building. If any enemy approaches Antigua, the one of the blockhouse will go up. Then it will signal this one, the top of the building will go up. Then Mount Hill, and then within 15 minutes, all around Antigua. So the British will know that they are being invaded by their enemies. It never happened anyway. Okay? It's flanked by a magazine and a kitchen because not only is it a historical site, but also it's still used as a restaurant for lunch and dinner. So if you're in Antigua and you want to come and have a quiet dinner, quiet lunch, you can always come to Shirley Heights and sit down and have a good meal. Okay? Signal station above 490 feet, 150 meters. Okay? The highest point in Shirley Heights and the most southern point on Antigua. As the American was saying, you know, the deep south. We're in the deep south of Antigua. Now you saw this, the GR on what? On the cannon, that's right. The Royal Artillery, Officer's Belt Plate, and the Royal Artillery Gunner. I can tell you this gentleman never fired his bayonet in any sort of war. Because as I mentioned to you, what was killing the soldiers as well as their wives, okay, and the slaves as well too.
Lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning and yellow fever. Let's now go to the lookout. Nelson's Dockyard. Okay, we have. Hey, Lens, give me my time, man. See if it's 45 or 40 minutes. No, on the sheet. Just want to be accurate.
45.
45 minutes. in Nelson's Dockyard.
My name is Kenisha. I will be with you for about 15 minutes, and then at the end of the tour, you will have some time to browse on your own. Nelson's Dockyard was an 18th century British naval base that was named after the Admiral Horatio Nelson. And so Nelson was only 26 years old when he came to Antigua in 1784. He stayed until 1787. What he came here for was to enforce the Navigation Act that stopped the sugar trade between the Spanish, the French, and also the Americans. The two white gates we just passed through, they were the only entrance and exit to the Dockyard by land. They were always kept closed and heavily guarded with some rules. Some of these rules stated that there was no chewing of tobacco allowed, no strangers, no pets, and the worst one? No women. They considered the women to be spies, disease carriers, bad luck, and major distraction. Now I'm going to take you down to the end of the Dockyard to show you where and how they actually did the repairs on the ships. Are you folks ready? All right, follow me this way.
All right, folks, we're at the end of the Dockyard where the careening process took place. Take a look over here. We have 3 black and white standing wheels. They're replica of what was called capstans using the careening process. So the boats, they were docked alongside the Dockyard, just as you see that one over there. But then back then these boats had 3 masts. Each mast was tied to 3 capstans, and the capstan was turned into a clockwise direction by about 5 to 6 men, and there was an extra man standing on top of the capstan. So the capstan was turned into a clockwise direction, allowing the boat to tilt on its side. Then other workmen would go out in smaller boats to go scrape and clean the sides and the bottom of the boat of all the barnacles and seaweeds and do the necessary repairs. The capstan was turned in the opposite direction to release the boat back out into the water. The boat was turned in the opposite side done the same way. That process took the men 6 months per boat, only because they were always drunk. They were paid a gallon of beer or a pint of rum at the end of each working day. On the hillside up there, that's the remains of the Clarence house. The Duke of Clarence, he stayed there while he was here in Antigua. Later on, he became King William IV. Princess Margaret, she spent 4 days out of her honeymoon up there, had to run early because of paparazzi. The building became a countryside villa for the Governor General here in Antigua. At this moment, it's undergoing restoration, and it will be welcoming the, Prince Harry on Sunday. I won't be there until afterwards when it's reopened officially. Then I'll be there. Then you guys can come and visit me, and I'll give you a tour of the house. All right? It will be mine. On that side there we have the first dockyard. It was built in 1725. It was called St. Helena, but it became too small to accommodate large ships, so then it was abandoned. Today it's called Antigua Slipway Limited, where boats are still repaired. Now over here there was a 50-foot hill, but they needed a space to build a larger dockage, so they had to get rid of the hill. After blowing it down, the rumble was used to finish constructing the edges of the dockage going right around, and in remembrance of that hill, there's a sundial being built from the rumble as well that is placed in the center of the roundabout within those black grills. The sundial there, it dates back from 1755 up till today. It still tells the correct time. As long as the sun goes up, you just follow the shade that is on top and it tells you the correct time of the day. The Nelson's Dockage here in the surrounding areas has been under the National Parks Authority, which was established in 1985. Their purpose has been to preserve, protect, and manage the history here in our surroundings as much as possible. Alright? Now guys, you're allowed to browse around anywhere you feel like heading in, any open door. There are information planks being placed right around the yard. Feel free to read up on some more history. Thank you so very much for coming. Also, thank you for listening. Thank you for your interest. I hope you continue to enjoy your time here. Safe trip back home when it's time to do so. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Any question, anyone?
Fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.